That seems about right. Hello everyone, my name is Ned Finn. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the stream, and welcome back. Well, not welcome back. Mini M&Ms! How quickly you appear! What good news? I got it, Minnie. We start back as we mean to go on. It's been a while. End of the year, beginning of the next is always busy for me. End of the year, for the same reason it's busy for everyone, which is, it's just a, it's a busy time of year, holidays and all that jazz. And then, beginning of the year is, busy for me because of work. January is our peak season. Everyone gets, overtime and extra days. It's a whole thing. But things have calmed down, and I think a bit of streaming is good for the soul, so to speak. Also, you'll notice if I look a little odd, it's because my camera is on the other side of me than what it usually is, and honestly, it's probably freaking me out more than it's freaking you out, Minnie. But and as a result, I haven't mirrored my my webcam, my face cam, I should say. So, but it is what it is. Let's jump in. I've been fine, Minnie. More importantly, how have you been? Got my vital snacks. Not much here. And at some point, I will have to... Yes, you will. Which is a shame, because now my, my Bill Cipher sticker that I have on my headphones is, it's not going to be nearly as visible. This stream was actually supposed to be to start about 15 minutes ago, but it was a whole thing. Anno's resolution was being weird for me in OBS. I accidentally reset the graphical settings and tried to... and I literally have no idea what they were set to, because I lean very heavily on the NVIDIA app to set up my graphical settings for a lot of games. So hopefully it looks okay and runs okay. Okay, I was about to say that roof texture has got to load in a little bit better. Let's turn down that volume a little bit. But yeah, I've been playing an awful lot of Anno 1800 lately. Oh, I forgot this is Pig Island. We love Pig Island. Yeah, I picked this up during a Steam sale yonks ago for like 10 or 15 bucks. And I'd picked up one of its previous iterations, Anno 2070, I think. A little bit previously. Are those... Oh, I don't like those shadows doing that. And it's a reset required, so what's even the point? Am I crazy? Shadow quality. Yeah, all this is... I'm gonna have to... Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. This reset is where I would expect, like, an accept button to be. Good lord. And heaven knows we need to keep this as, those shadows are gonna bug the ever-living junk out of me. At some point, I'm gonna have to take a break, because Ping and I have fur babies now that need tending to, and I might legitimately exit the game and and do kind of a reset. As a matter of fact, it's going to bug me enough, and it's only just Mini here, and you know, I mean, not to, that sounds so, not derogatory, but it sounds dismissive, which is not my intent. Let me see if I can't load up my NVIDIA app again. This thing has been so temperamental with me. It's been so long since I've streamed. Everything's going wrong. It's fine. That frickin' reset button is where it needs to not be. It's too easily accessible is the problem. And there's no question of like, hey, do you want to reset your graphical settings? It just kind of does it, which is annoying. I'm having an Aldi brand Cosmic Brownie to soothe myself. And of course, the NVIDIA app just doesn't want to load. It's taking forever and a day to do that, so I'm going to launch Anno, probably set it to very high settings instead of high settings. It's the shadow thing that's bugging me more than anything else. I like to move the camera around. Please do not move the shadows along with it. Good God. You'd think it would be easier to keep it where it's, I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, Anno's been an interesting experience. I'll show you all my main city once I get the Heaven Forsaken game up and running. Do this. Go to graphics. We go to very high. Anti-aliasing is still where I want it to be, using DirectX 12. And then we restart, yes? On the background, the notification broke you out of your doom scroll rolling. Cool. Lord no, I'll tell you what. It's breaking me out of my doom scrolling as well. Because either doom scrolling or kind of mindlessly going through Magic the Gathering matches. Although recently, I've put together an insanely quirky and inconsistent deck. It probably pops off maybe 1 out of every 10 games. It's very fun when it does, though. Yeah, at around... let's say 30 past the next hour, I am probably going to... pause and take the fur babies out to pee. And then once that's done, probably come back and stream for another hour. So it will be over an hour and a half of streaming, which is, you know, not bad for first time back in like 2 months. Good heavens. Excuse me? Newsfeed failed to load. It didn't look too great when it did successfully load. So, like, I'm not too bothered about it, Ubisoft. Did I come up with any New Year's resolutions? Not really. Nothing super concrete. Other than my now standard yearly reading goal. I barely, and I mean barely, scraped my way through 10 books this past year. I want to hit 12 this year. I want to knock out a book a month. I'm well positioned to do that. Am I crazy? Have the shadows always moved like that? I'm just, like, hyper aware of that now.
People celebrate your leadership.
Am I actually insane right now? What the hell is happening? Game's running fine. Computer is running quiet, so, like, not too worried about it. I almost wonder... shadow quality. Maybe it's supposed to be on ultra high, or like post-processing should be different. If these were... Well, post-processing definitely isn't the issue. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, that's fine. Fix sun position. Why is this even an option? What could be the possible purpose? Like, presumably there's some kind of processing issue there. That's very strange. I do not know how to feel about that. Good lord. Why is that an option? What on earth could be the... I'm gonna look this up. Why is it an option? Okay, I'm gonna be bad. I'm gonna be a bad frickin' millennial right now. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT this. Okay, and I'm gonna use my transcription here as well. Why would it be an option to fix the position of the sun in a video game's graphics options? That'll do it. That'll work for me. Moving sun means dynamic lighting. No, because, like, the sun is already dynamically moving, right? Well, no, it actually isn't right now, but... Is it just... I know. Leave me alone, Minnie. I know it's bad. But here's the thing. Here's something that I've come to the conclusion of. That I think ChatGPT and, like, similar, like, the use of LLMs for, like, collating information and making things, like, searchable in a plain... In a, what's the, natural language, like being able to search for information in a natural language fashion, I think really long term is going to be about one of the only practicable applications for AI as it exists today. But anyway, and case in point, didn't answer my question anyway, so that ought to show me. Anywho. Yeah, this is Anno. It's a city builder. The entire Anno series is based around settling a series of islands. Anno 1800, in particular, is pretty heavily based around the idea of settling islands in a kind of industrial revolution era. Doesn't necessarily set itself too specifically in, like, a particular place. I mean, there is, like, an old world map and a new world map, but that's about it. Oh, this is my dude, by the way. Foppington. Whose main island is the quaint city of Fophaven. Quaint city whose attractiveness is... just not very good right now, actually. It's not even because of the vulgarity. I guess I need to build more cultural buildings now, because, like, a lot of the early attractiveness that your islands get is just from, like, untouched wilderness, the countryside modifier, and that's just not what I've got right now. I've colonized, like, a big chunk, or I've, like, settled a huge chunk of the island. But yeah, there is a an old world and new world.
Does this land belong to your queen, or may I?
That's fine, Sheng.
My bannermen tread new soil, benevolent one.
Okay, thank you.
A competitor raised a settlement.
It occurs to me that y'all can't actually see, like, some of the stuff, so I'm gonna Put this down there, as is tradition at this point. Yeah, down and to the right. It's fine. That is too industrial. He needs to beautify. No, I need more animals for my frickin' zoo, is what I need. What is this if not countryside? This is pastoral beauty. But yeah, I am trying to deindustrialize Fophaven a little bit. I'm trying to move offshore some of these more vulgar industries, because you can see that you've got vulgar and polluting industries. Unsightly buildings are those that are smelly or noisy, so slaughterhouses, pig farms, rendering works, soap factories, and then the polluters are steelworks, furnace, and the charcoal kiln, which I am trying to move to Pig Island over here. There's a workforce shortage in Terra Hecupus. I legitimately forgot that I named this town that. There's a worker shortage. Okay, I can fix this. Okay, good. I absolutely can fix this, actually. Okay.
You're on the right track.
So this is something kind of interesting to Anno, is this idea of upgrading residences. Right, and actually... Oh, that's fine. And as you get kind of different classes of workers, you end up with the ability to, like, build different kinds of structures. Your people get, like, develop additional needs and stuff. As a result. Now, I started off with Anno 2070, actually, which is interesting. I do think I prefer Anno 1800, which is the newer game, somewhat conversely.
Don't disapprove of gift giving.
No, that's perfectly fine, Shing, thank you.
Has ended.
I think that should be pronounced Shing? Qing? I don't know. Going with very incomplete pronunciation knowledge there. Almost certainly it wouldn't be Quing. Maybe it's King. I don't think it would be King. Anyway. But yeah, what's interesting, so in Anno 2070, by default, everyone just kind of upgrades automatically, and that improves your city overall. Usually Ching? Okay. Cool beans. Duly noted. Thank you, mini M&Ms.
I'd like something cold.
Helpful having smart and knowledgeable people in chat. But yeah, in 2070, at a base level at least, I've not really seen much of a reason to keep your citizens from upgrading their dwelling and their you know, kind of their social status, so to speak. In Anno 1800, it's interesting because there's actually like a little bit more of a class system at work where you need to maintain, like we've got in the New World colonies, in the New World islands, we've got, oh, what's got them bummed out? We'll figure that out in a moment. You've got jornaleros, which are like the kind of base of the class ladder, like farmers and really like basic manual labor stuff. And then you've got the obreros, which would be the equivalent of the workers in the New World. The jornaleros would be the equivalent of farmers for the New World, or for the Old World cities, and you need to maintain certain numbers of each to keep certain buildings and such operational. So, like, the farms use the journal arrows, whereas the clay pit and its attendant brick factory, that uses the obreros. So we need to kind of expand a little bit in that kind of direction, methinks. I could probably do this.
This city is a magnet for genius.
Okay. Thank you for yonder plowman. And actually, gosh, this is getting messy over here. Here's what we're gonna do. And like something like Against the Storm, which is also extremely grid-based, I don't get to abandon the city in like a few years and then move on to the next one. Okay, but that actually kind of works. Okay.
Was I asleep that long?
So another interesting thing I'm musing on the reason why humans try to use grid systems, because they're effective and inefficient and efficient. Yeah, I'm a big fan of a hex grid myself, but that is harder to implement in something like this. Like, our city's IRL already so heavily based on a grid layout, you know, it's just a series of blocks and such, so. Is what it is. I actually got new speakers to accommodate my... I'm at a new desk. Since Ping and I got the fur babies, I've moved my personal computer as well as my work computer. My work computer was already in my room because my personal computer needs to be able to be isolated. Because for my job, I'm handling like HIPAA protected information, and company requires us to be able to like have an enclosed space. Dogs got basically set up in the sunroom, which is where my kind of office space was set up. So we moved the desk in here, got a new desk to accomplish that, got a new standing desk, which has been very nice. But it's a little bit smaller than what I had before, and I really didn't want my speakers to be behind my monitors, so I ended up getting these new, smaller, I think these are called the Creative Pebble speakers. They're quite nice, and they sit like kind of right where they needed to be. Went searching for low-profile speakers, and I found these. I need to replace the aux cable, because the one that I have is horrible looking, but it is what it is. We are still hurting for workers, huh? Okay. Kind of upgrade all these dockside towns. Or dockside houses, rather. We are very nearly there, actually. Should get these guys. And, of course, now we are actually short workers. But that's a real quick fix here. We just do this, 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 and that. Why not? Of course, the very, very colonialist mindset, but the Okay, let's tackle this happiness issue now. What's got them bummed out? We have no rum, and they want tortillas. Bro, don't we all? And of course, maybe we put you here? The classic dwarf fortress position? Do we put you over here? Madness. Lunacy. I think we just keep you here. And that ought to work.
In these modern times, I can become whoever I want to be.
Absolutely. Go away. Yeah, I really have no idea why that fixed sun position thing is an option. I'm just thinking about that because, like, you can see it's going dynamically from day to night. You know, the shadow's going a little, ticking along a little wonkily there, but I don't know. There's another island that I've... Oh, okay, so El Fapez is fine. And give me some sugar, which is the only island I could claim that had sugar fertility. I have tortillas but no rum. I guess I'm also not as happy as I could be. Fair. I legitimately forgot for a moment that this isn't my main settlement here in the New World. It is here. Because I've got, back in the old world, I've got Fophaven and Wee Fophaven. Here in the New World, I have El Fapez, which feels like that's problematic, but sound off in the comments exactly how bad that is. Let's see here. So El Fapez is fine, though, because they have rum. They have domestic rum production, whereas Terra Hiccupas does not. But because for rum we need sugarcane, which we don't have. Ooh. Okay, focus pocus. What are we looking at here? Who's producing?
Stand aside, boss. Don't get dirt on your fancy shoes.
Thank you for consideration of my fancy shoes.
Storeroom's full, boss.
Okay, so this is the rum distillery. The rum is being produced domestically at Gimme Some Sugar. Okay, because we're producing wood, we're producing sugarcane. So the rum is being produced domestically here on this island, which means it should be as simple as grabbing an idle... What is this? Needs consumption go up. This is fine. We can live with this. Look at Mr. Moneybags up here with his 100,000 gold, or dollars, or coins, or however you want to conceive of it. I think the game refers to them as coins. Then give it like a C or like a cent sign or something. Don't call it... Don't give us a dollar sign. Sims has the good sense to call them simoleons. You know, and to call them simoleons and have a bespoke icon for it, but it is what it is. But yeah, so this should be as easy as grabbing a schooner. Hold on. Domestic rum distillery here. And then El Fapez is creating... Okay. And that's a distillery as well? No, that's a plantain kitchen. That's the distillery. Oh my goodness, my FPS has dropped to 30 frames. That is no bueno. Game, why are you doing this to me? PC's running a little loud over there, not gonna lie. PC is struggling. Okay, but I think that's as good an opportunity to crank the old graphics down a little bit, take the fur babies out for their bathroom break, come back to a more smoothly running game. How does that sound? Apologies for the jump scare there, Minnie. Not my intent. Anywho. But yeah. Okay, now that everything is... Computer's running quiet again. I mean, loading screen. But, still. So here's the question. Do we bring sugar to Terra Hiccup? Or do we and set up their own domestic distilling process? Or do we just impure the rum complete? There we go. Base level graphics. But the shadows aren't fucking moving around on me. Actually reminds me I should set up one of these chapels in Terra Hiccup, because Lord knows there was much consternation on El Fapes about that once upon a time. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and demolish that. They just want rum, to be clear. And they're already, like, improving. You know? Well, there we go. And that's part of the issue. They don't have a chapel. Chapel ought to solve a lot of this problem in and of itself. Right? Yeah, everything's pretty in range of the chapel. Enough of this population is in range of the chapel that everyone should be pretty happy. It's a logging camp. The logging camp. And we can throw down another chapel here. That'll be fine. Look at that. 100% production. Not interfering a bit. But yeah, they don't just want to be making rum, they want rum. Or they don't necessarily, I mean, if they need to make their own rum, that'll be fine. We'll need more obreros for that, but that's fine. We can do that. That's not going to be an issue. But they need, and they're producing their own wood, so that's fine. We just probably do need, we need to either get them sugar or get them rum. Let's see here. So El Fapes is producing its own rum. Let's see what we can see here. Production. I'm still learning how to parse all these charts, you know? How... What is held up? Because of lack of available storage. So we're moving sugarcane. How much sugarcane are we moving? Pull my trade routes here. 50. Good lord. Although I guess we do have a full 3 sugar plantations, and they are, like, fully stocked. So, presumably, presumably the quantities are doing well. Fully stocked for sugarcane. And actually, reminds me. Oh yeah, we got rum for days. So here's what we're gonna do. Go to trade routes, create routes, trade route. Gonna grab one of our idle schooners.
A fire broke out.
We're gonna grab our one idle schooner, which is the Sharp Gust. We're going to take these from El Fapes. We're going to load up on rum. We're going to do like 35 rum here.
The fire has been vanquished.
And we're going to unload here on Terra Hiccup. We're going to unload. And that'll be it. Perfect. Now, something that's interesting... Is fire put out? Oh. Oh, no. Well, we can fix that. Something interesting about Anno versus a lot of the other city builders that I play, and I hope I'm using my terminology correctly here, is that Anno isn't agent-based, insofar as it's not a matter of, like, for a household to get resources into its kind of like supply. Like if a household has a demand for rum, let's say, an individual person who is tied to that household does not need to be able to does not need to make their way to a warehouse or to a distillery where rum exists and bring it back to the household. All they need is to be in range of a source. And the source for individual households for goods is going to be one of these, the marketplace. The marketplace is in turn connected to the warehouse network, which includes your trading post. And includes all of these... Where's one of these? All of these warehouses that you can build. Well, hello, Ping! Good to see you. You're in... Are you in Atlanta now? Don't answer that. No, because you'd be in California, right? No, you're in Atlanta. Ping is traveling this weekend, for the record. So I really just wanted to see how you'd react. Atlanta headed to LAX as we speak. Gotcha. Are you in the air right now?
Ship under attack.
There's a ship under attack. Freaking! Oh no! Oh no!
Fire of freedom rises.
My schooner!
Coordinates plotted. We're counting on you.
My schooner! Don't get out of there!
On our way.
There's 35 units of rum in there. We need to get out of there, like, stat. Ugh.
A ship was destroyed.
I'll take the extra cash. Don't think I won't. We got slightly bigger fish to fry. That's fine.
You have done a beautiful thing this day.
Hold on. I could just buy a ceasefire from this goober, right? I kind of thought that I already had one. Let us flatter him.
Don't you think I know
Eh.
talent from a shark by now?
Let's offer him a gift.
Possibly refuse.
And then we will also request a ceasefire. Okay, there we go. 20,000.
We need some perspective.
I can live with. Will do, Ping. I appreciate you stopping by. Love you, boo-boo. Alright, let's see here.
New orders.
Of course, tragically, we don't actually have a, we don't have sail-making up and running here. Which means we cannot domestically produce our own ships. I'm going to go ahead and add... We're going to add the Goblin Shark, which is a gunboat. Which is better than nothing, and it's a single item route, so... Should be fine. Ugh. Oh, these old bones of mine. These tired old bones of mine. Does this even have... It does. Somehow it has 3 clay pits. And a bunch of oil springs, which I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with oil springs at this point. I have not encountered a need for them. But because there are clay deposits, conceivably we could start doing brick manufacturing. But yeah, there's very little like actual instances of like things needing to be moved from like place to place. Like you do need to get materials, like raw materials that are going to be refined into other things. Those do need to be brought to a location, and likewise any goods that are going to be accessible through the warehouse need to be physically moved to a warehouse location. But other than that, like as far as like all of these people, this is all set dressing. This is just essentially procedurally generated by the game. These are not actual agents in the game. They don't have a purpose other than just making the town look like it's alive. The population of, you know, contained within this household lives right there. It only lives as that number, and that's it. Now, let's go ahead and see about getting our tortilla production chain up and running. A boxing arena is certainly something. Corn. We do have corn fertility, and we have beef fertility as well, presumably. Well, fertility only applies to things that applies to plants that are being grown, and nothing else. So, throw down a cattle farm right here.
Stand aside, boss.
Oh, ow! Forgot about that. It's okay.
There'll be potholes, so watch out.
I'll tell you what, at least having gone through the... Oh, cool. Through the tutorial for Anno 2070, made this game make a lot more sense, kind of right from the jump, and I didn't really have to muddle through the tutorial too much, because there is very much like an iterative... it's very much an iterative, design philosophy. There's a lot of similar stuff, and the UI is laid out pretty similarly, so it was easy to kind of wrap my head around after playing 2070. And the rest I could, once I kind of had a very basic idea of what I needed to be doing, everything else I could figure out just with a bit of Google foo. Quick bit o Google foo. And here's the other thing. The whole warehouse network is interconnected. So anything that is brought to this warehouse here, like this, these are llama farms, which are producing wool.
More space here.
Yeah, they're alpaca farms producing alpaca wool. Brought to the warehouse. From there, that wool is going to be accessible anywhere. Does not matter where. It's brought there, and then this... Where is it? That's not it. Right here. A poncho darner. The folks from here can go to this warehouse here and just get the material. You can actually see that route. It's real quick. No need to travel to here. So and that's been like a process to wrap my head around, because I'm much more used to something like, for a good example, for something that's let's say a persistent city builder, as opposed to like Against the Storm, which is, plant your city, meet your goal, move on. So something more like Timberborn, right, is, it's a lot of your people actually have to, your beavers need to get where they need to be. In here, because the actual population is not visibly represented outside of a number attached to the houses, it's just a matter of getting goods into that warehouse network, and you're golden from there. Getting them in and out, I should say. So we've got this. Let's go ahead and grow some corn as well. We'll go here. Go here. And then this is 168. Each farm... Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Has a certain number of squares that it needs to be at peak efficiency. And you can you can draw those out in kind of any way that you want. But they can only support a certain number of those squares. So, you meet 168, farm is done. That's as much as it's going to support. Excuse me. Actually. Your boy's going to grab himself a lozenge.
The people celebrate your leadership.
Tell you, my, all this cold weather that we've been getting...
I've done my job without hellish machinas all my life, and I'm not changing that now.
Well, the cold that we've been getting has been doing no favors for my respiratory system, believe you me. Now, we should have...
Stations.
Goblin Shark, which is our gunboat, carrying stuff back and forth. And from here, that's right, because the sugar is being used for rum. Eventually, and actually, go back to the old world here. Meh. I want to go to the world map. It'd actually be really funny if they offset the time of day for old and new world, because it's not like it takes the game much time to like this is purely for aesthetics. You can move the time of day around to whatever you want it to be. Oh, we've got the frickin' festival. It's also worth mentioning that this game looks fabulous. That was like a big part of the appeal when I initially picked this up. I was like, man, this looks good. Game looks really, really nice. Big fan of that. Let's see here. Paven, how are we doing? Oh, festivity. Yeah, having a festival is like big boost to attraction. And attractiveness, in turn, boosts tourism here at our
At least it's not any busier.
here at our public mooring, bringing in all kinds of cash, because that's ultimately the goal. You see, not only because like you actually don't have that many sources of income. Taxation is the big one, and for taxation, you just kind of upgrade the population, your people population.
Future bright and gay.
Of which we need. Eventually, we're going to need more. Well, technically, what are these? Artisans?
A little carousing in order.
That's right. The people demand sausages. There's a lot of divided attention going on in this game where you've got to, like... The nice thing is that, like, you're not going to face too many crises. Like, once the town is set up, like, it's not like, it's not like something, like Frostpunk, where it's, like things are constantly on the brink of spiraling utterly out of control, and you're, like, just barely holding shit together. You can kind of set your town, and as long as, like, you know, you kind of make sure that all the basic needs are met for the time being, things aren't going to spiral out of control in your absence, which is good. But it's kind of a whole thing. Let's go ahead. We do kind of need to increase the population a little bit. No, we don't need to increase the population. It's fine. What we need to do is get more of these workers upgraded into artisans. So we can unlock the university and... and get them then upgraded to whatever they go up to next. No telling. Absolutely no telling. There's a museum? That's got to improve attractiveness right there. Right there. Alright. Let's see here. So this is Pig Island, by the way, which is, like, supposed to be, like, where all of my vulgar industry goes to live as I, like, start winding down those industries from Fophaven. So right now, Pig Island has a lumberjack hut, sawmill, which turns the lumber into timber, or the logs into timber, whatever the technical term for it is. We've got our pig farms. We've got lots of pig farms. We've got sheep farms for producing. They don't have access to a warehouse. Excuse me? Well, I won't stand for it. I simply weren't. Alright, let's pop a warehouse, like, right here. Because you can see this range is, like, as far as they'll go. Oh gosh, I remember moving this frickin' farm just that I didn't have to build a warehouse further out, and I ended up needing to build one anyway. Doesn't really matter, but, you know. Still. I wonder if I can squeeze another pig farm in here. I sure can! Question is... okay. And unlike the other farms, these don't need to be strictly adjacent. Don't bloody matter, though, because I did it anyway. Cool. Pigs. Pigs. Can't live with them. Not if you want your attractiveness rating to be high, at least. Did I need a 5th pig farm? Probably not, but... you know. I bloody got one now, don't I? And then... ooh! We need bricks! Oh, that's right. I was literally building a clay pit earlier. And see here, again, we put up that. Put up our brick manufacturing, our brick factory. And then we throw down a small warehouse. And that's it. It's also worth mentioning, there's nothing wrong with putting, like, the only reason that I don't have, like, houses here is mostly for aesthetics. But I could 100% throw down a bunch of houses here, and it wouldn't matter. As long as they have access to a marketplace where they can get their stuff, the pollution isn't going to bother them. Which is... although, maybe it does, actually. I wonder if that's what the hospital is secretly for. Response to illness in range, can mobilize additional units. Well, hell, maybe that can cause an issue. I haven't really tried it. Is the bloody thing. Where's the nearest marketplace here? All the way down there. We just barely get to stuff. What if we put another market? Yeah, here's what we'll do. Put a marketplace here. And then we'll put a house, like, here. And see what happens. Just see how they do. I mean, eventually this whole thing could turn into, like, a very lovely neighborhood as I move Vulgar Industries out of the area. You know, these polluting industries or whatever. Well, I forgot that I've got this thing paused.
Hold the machines.
Why do I have this? Is it because I already have as many cannons as I could possibly want? Because that makes sense. I can understand that being a situation in which I find myself. Your little offshore bank account. No, our little offshore warehouse. Or depot, that's what it's called. Which expands our storage capacity, and you can customize what they look like. You can just choose between these two things, which is nice. Give yourself a little bit of variety. And then the actual connection, this is all custom placed. These are jetties, which you can just do kind of willy-nilly.
Get some rest. It's going to be a long voyage.
Connect that whole thing if you wanted to. I don't care to, but you could. And as you build your road closer to the coast, it kind of becomes this elevated affair. Gosh, all these people coming for the zoo. With my I was about to say, don't I have 4 things? I do. It's the reptile house in the middle. My glorious 4 exhibits, and then this thing here. Look, if the North Carolina Zoo can be like talking up its Asia expansion for like the past decade, then I can you know, spend a little time. You know, building up our zoo as well. It's holding up the entire city on its shoulders right now. Anyway, we need to start making sausages. We need to start making bricks. Ooh, our workforce isn't working out. The workforce ain't working. No, we just need some workers, is the thing. Who can be upgraded? Literally nobody. Why not? Oh, we never built. I clearly, like, went to bed, like, midway through putting this thing together. Good heavens. Alright. Well, that's fine. We can work with that. What are we looking at here? Clothes. Work clothes. Fine woolen socks.
I had a job unpicking old rope once.
Honestly, why not throw down a slaughterhouse here as well? I mean, we need brick for that, but surely we'll get there eventually.
Workforce shortage.
We can just hop over the fence and grab up some pigs. But no, they'll be run from the farms, taken to the warehouse, and then from the warehouse they'll go to the slaughterhouse. Which makes it all sound a bit grim, but it is how it works. Okay. In the meantime, we do, like, need some more people. I do forget that you can just drag and drop houses, which is neat. this 2x3 thing is kind of like my preferred way of doing these things. Because it's just a little bit bigger than the 2x2. And you can't do a 9x9, or a 3x3 rather, because otherwise the house in the middle will be cut off from the roads, which is no good. I do like doing these kind of kind of slightly off-kilter city blocks. Now you can see they're, because again, we have clothing that is making it into the warehouses and is thus accessible through the market, and everywhere that has like strong access to the market. He's able to, you know, it's a different style of city builder than what I'm used to. And I think part of it is because, like, the goods that you're handling, like these industries that you're handling, are pretty granular. There's not a, it's not terribly abstracted. You have these very clear production chains of materials that need to be, you know, moved from one building to another into the hands of your people, which is fine. But the logistics of the city are pretty heavily abstracted from there. Like something like City Skylines. There's a lot of abstraction going on there with industry and commercial. And then you can increase like the densities thereof, but there's not like you're not setting what specific type of industries you're working with. You're not setting, you know, kind of the class of residents. You know, you're just saying, okay, people live here, stuff is made here, stuff is sold here, and that's your lot, you know. And there's other things to manage because it's a little bit more of a large scale game, and you can get away with that level of abstraction there. Whereas there is still definitely abstraction. It's just not as it's applied a little bit more unevenly, I guess I'd say. And now our worker population is hurting all the more. It's also worth mentioning, people do not have to physically get to jobs. You could have one half of the island be all residential and the other half of the island be all industrial, and it would not matter. People do not need to physically get to their jobs. You just need to have enough people on the island to support the types of jobs that you have, which again, it makes laying out your city a lot less of a headache, which is nice, especially given the fact that you're having to lay out multiple towns across multiple islands. So, like, you know, not complaining. Okay.
Get stuck into.
Then from here, they will advance. I do like that every building is kind of like has its own like bespoke paths around it, especially the houses. So you can imagine like people like, you know, taking this path between these couple of residential structures. And I do like how the worker residences do have kind of an interesting mix between paving and still like dirt roads, because they are very much like for when you're kind of transitioning between those two systems, you know. Let's go ahead and upgrade just a couple more houses here. Satisfies our need for workers. We'll start producing bricks. As we get more bricks, we'll build more slaughterhouses. And from there, we'll produce more sausage to send back to our true concern, Fophaven. The curious city of Fophaven. So we can start upgrading more of these people. is a euphoric worker, which is fabulous. Got access to church, pub, schnapps we could do a little bit better on when we're just not producing beer. For all we know, beer might be another thing that Pig Island ends up tackling.
Ready for assignment.
That is our schooner. What kind of idle ships do we have? We have a clipper. Let's start producing another schooner, shall we? A small and agile trade ship with a small cargo capacity. Do these cost influence? That's interesting. I haven't found much to do with influence, mind you. And then use it to pump out propaganda whenever their newspaper needs to be published. Speaking of influence.
Dapper. I've got more important things to think about than frills and silks.
Okay.
Every little bit could make a difference for us.
Zero chance of a peace treaty. We are currently in a ceasefire with both of our pirate factions, which works for me. Incidentally. I will say I do like having the webcam over at the, you know, kind of where my chat is. Because that way I can, like, I look to chat, and I look to my second screen, and at least I can be looking in the general direction of where... I don't even know how that works. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. This I've seen, like, notices about this. Share value. Acquisition cost. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go to barrel. I'm gonna go to... Where's my friend? Where's Princess Ching at? Is she here? There we go. It's a very small... It's also worth mentioning that, and I've only really done this on Pig Island. There's no need to build, like, right up on your port. Because, again, no worry about logistics. So you can do exactly this, where you build pretty far inland. What all is she building here? She's built... Yes, please. Yeah, publish it. Go. Good. Fine. This... Do we have... Oh, shiver me biscuits. On island, none. Great. Cool. Very nifty. Placement does not matter as much as getting it placed. And this will take a bit of time to train up the dudes. I need to remember this. You need to build your frickin'... Speaking of which, let me go to the New World and make sure that everyone has... Did I actually act proactively here? I think I did. Yes. There's already a fire department here. On Alphapas, I know that there is. And then... But not on Terra Hiccups. So let's do that now. Before this becomes an issue. Okay. Okay, now... Took a little while, but they're trained, and now we can Put out the fire. I've not known fires to be terribly catastrophic. I'm sure there are things that can make it, like, worse. But generally speaking, like, I've had multiple instances where I've built a fire department after the fire has begun, and it turns out fine. I might have to reconstruct some buildings, but that's about it.
Far be it from me to bank on gossip.
Princess Ching has artisan residences. Oh, gosh. Pretty high cost there. Good heavens. Maybe we get into the ground floor then, huh? $30,000 up front.
Your kind interest is perhaps not as helpful as you may think.
And Pear Garden is now mine. Well, that's fine. We should still be, like, in really good standing with her, though. That's not the... Yeah.
Resentment.
Eh.
There was something I wanted to ask of you. I will try to remember.
I mean, we're in pretty good situation with her now. You know, buying up shares in her island notwithstanding. I really didn't realize that was a thing that you could do. I wonder, can you offer to sell shares of your island? This is a good question. No. No. Now, what about, like, shares in, like... How is the share... Oh. Proceeds of sale. Okay, still, no. Good to know that's an option, though, if we're, like, really cash-strapped. The prospect of having to buy back shares in my own island, I don't know if I care for that one bit. Oh, well. Ugh. Okay, yeah, we got like another 30 minutes or so. The festival in Fophaven is ending soon. Unfortunate. We'll go back to being just quaint rather than curious. Which is totally fine. It's okay. Oh, good. Any ruins? Not even a ruin. Look at that. Hell yeah. Decisive action on my part. I saw a fire, you see, and I built a fire department, so. Pretty galaxy brain moment there, not gonna lie. Years of experience with city builders gives me these keen instincts. All right, let's see.
Alaska this Sunday.
Got more bricks, which means we can build more slaughterhouses.
More's the merrier.
I'm gonna assume that's. I just want to say I've gotten so much done with this on. Hey, I've always said, could not please me more than to have folks listening to my yammering in the background. Could not please me more. Compliment. Always and always.
You're tired than not. Never. You
And you can see up here you've got your excess workforce, right? So we've got available. So like the total labor pool for farmers is 408. There's 350 farmer jobs that are currently being done on the island, which means that we've got up to 58 more farmers that could be used for jobs. Worker workforce, we don't have nearly as much overhead, but we did just build new residences, and the higher ranking residences can contain more people. The farm residences are, interestingly, probably the least crowded, technically, although that means that you need more housing to accommodate them. The other advanced housings are just a lot more dense. Higher density. How are these people doing?
We're the poor relations.
Yeah, they're doing fine. Absolutely fine. Oh gosh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Well, the good news is if your house ever catches on fire, it's not going to be that way for long.
Looks fair, but there's mold in the walls.
Style needs luxury. Oh, because they're not next to a they're not next to a pub, you see. Also not next to it. They don't all really have church access. But that's fine. We can put a pub here. That's no issue.
Breakfast this morning by yours truly.
The camera rotation does occasionally do this weird thing where like the back end seems to like catch on something and it doesn't rotate freely, rather it like pivots. It's a little bit odd, but it is what it is. Too many transporters. Now let's upgrade it to a medium warehouse for its glorious needs. Yeah, everyone wants beer. We're just not producing beer in this city, as it turns out. Is that something we can address here? Also need to, like... How's our lumber production looking? Pretty good, as it turns out. I think we could probably afford to just, like, entirely nix this. And that frees up all of this space now, like, so much more effectively. Like, all of this. So, like, maybe we figure out what we need to do to start producing beer. Grain. Hops. And we can produce hops on this island. So, like, maybe we do that thing. Huh? How does that sound, fellas? We're going to produce a little bit of hops here. You almost wonder. I almost wonder. Check something here. Okay, yeah, that does kind of interfere pretty severely, actually. But still ends up doing, like, over half productivity. So, who's to say? who's to say what we're gonna end up doing? We put our hops farm like right here. Right next to the pigs. Yeah, it does for us. So yeah, it does for us.
Stand back, I would. Looks like the tubes need a flush.
Alright. No warehouse in range.
Peddlers say there's nowhere to take it.
What on earth could you possibly mean by this statement? How is your range that low? That's like...
Stand to attention for the boss.
That's bizarre. And that's barely holding on there. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so... we're gonna move this down here. Move this over. Just a smidgen, really. Ooh. That's a charcoal kiln. I was like, what is this? What is this thing? That's the charcoal kiln. And now, take this. Construction area blocked. That's unfortunate. Construction area not blocked. That's better. Less unfortunate. Okay, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Still say that's a... See, that almost didn't work out. That is a... It is a bullshittingly short range for this thing. I wonder... That extends it! Oh! Oh, that's good to know. That is actually very good to know. See how much that extends that range. Yeah! Yeah, that actually extends that quite far, huh? Actually wonder... There's no way that just, like, doing this extends that even further, does it? It doesn't. Okay, which makes sense. But still... Okay, so paved roads... are actually kind of valuable as infrastructure, huh? Kind of makes keeps the whole city ticking along in the way that it should.
Got our interests at heart.
Did we make our new schooner? We sure did. It's called Buttercup. That's fun. Okay. And how is this doing on sausage production? Pretty good. As it turns out. But I feel it could be better. I feel it could be better, though. No entries. I didn't mean to delete all of our entries. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Nothing matters anymore. My screams ring hollow, pleading evermore. Actually. Ooh, worker shortage. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate, but imminently addressable. And the question is, how's pig production doing? We are topped off on pigs, my dudes. topped off on pigs, my boys. Oh, that's right, because upgrading these houses requires... No, it just requires planks. Okay. Timber. Requires timber, apparently. Ooh. So Ping is traveling, as you may have gathered, and we were up very early to get her to the airport. I might take a nap before the day is out. Thinking, because I've got another like 10 minutes or so in the stream. We need more workers. We need more workers to work our worker jobs. Like, everyone's just a little bit understaffed right now. It's not, like, too egregious. Like, we're not even getting the pop-up. Like, it's 47 out of 50 here. It's 23 out of 25. But we could do with some more people. Don't fucking get me wrong. We need more people. We do, in fact, require more people. You must, in fact, construct more pylons. Is that a StarCraft reference? I don't know. I think I heard that in a Spoonie video once, and I just kind of kept that tucked away in my brain in the way that I do. No, never played StarCraft. I found myself far less attracted to real-time strategy in my old age. Honestly, I don't know how much I was really that much of a real-time strategy boy to begin with. It's just we didn't have as many games to play, you know? Like, I had a real interest in medieval history, so something like Age of Empires appealed to me for the theming, if nothing else. And then... you know, I'd played enough Age of Empires that, like, I guess there was almost a moral obligation at that point to pick up Age of Mythology when I saw that that was a thing. But, like something like this now, like, I'm annoyed that I cannot build while the game is paused. I can't even, like, I can't even scroll out when the game is paused. This has less function than just slamming the escape key and calling it a day. Ugh. I want to be able to pause and, like, plan things out for a moment, but no. It's real time all the time. Okay. Now here's an interesting thing. Oh, yeah. Oop. Damn it. Because it wouldn't be that. You'd do this. To keep from copying things redundantly, I suppose. It much matters like that. So really, right out to here is where that market influence kind of ends. Right? Well, that's bleeding convenient. And then, yeah, you can just overlap like buildings without an issue. So, like, the road isn't going to be a problem there. So, like, now here's an interesting question. And I do see that there are buildings that need to be constructed. But, like, what if I did, like, this, and then... Okay, cool. Nifty. the downside with only having one of these, thingy things. These, not lumberjack huts. This thing, my sawmill. Give that the old copperoo here. And fortunately, the game is kind enough. I can't upgrade for crap right now. Is kind enough to make sure that your wood infrastructure, so the lumberjack hut and the sawmill, are some of the only things that do not require timber. So you'll always be able to build those, no matter how badly you've effed up your resources. Yeah, if it's not raining, or if it's raining very, very, very lightly, I might take the fur babies out to the dog park, let them get some of their wiggles out.
Awaiting new horizons.
Workforce shortage.
Pig Island, there's certainly... well, I guess there would be a shortage, wouldn't there? Well, let's go ahead and... Oh, dang.
A land lush and green.
Yeah, our triangle shirtwaist factory is, so underperforming a little bit. Perfectly fine. Woolen socks. Rare books. Because if this is reducing, because you've got too many people taking too much of this stuff, is the issue. I'm afraid that the Schnapps distillery is going to run into the same frickin' problem, but never you mind. Pig Island shall and must rise. Just a matter of getting it to where it needs to be. Now, where is our... Oh, sausage production is doing grandly. Grandly here. Now, is there literally any... There is not a single bit of sausage accumulation happening here in Fophaven. It's part of the frickin' problem.
Is it wrong to want more?
No, it's not wrong to want more. He's content, but he's not euphoric because he's not getting enough sausage. My poor bowler-hatted gentleman here is not getting enough sausage. And Lord knows that's what he wants. Same things with these poor workers. Lack of sausage access is the one thing that's keeping them from realizing their true potential. But that's what Pig Island is for. You see. See now. Yeah, 42 out of 50. Yeah, everyone's struggling right now. Everyone's struggling. On the Scruggle bus here. Let's go ahead and get this trade route a-going. Can we just charter a route? Do we have the largesse to do that? Just say, yeah, grab from Pig Island, send it there, do 40 sausages at a time, and charter it. And someone, the Uber of 1800s Uber, will just, like, dispatch trade ships. And will take goods from Pig Island to Fophaven, and it'll be great. Do we even need eyes on this frickin' thing, or is this yet another thing that the game has abstracted?
Ready for assignment.
The schooner Fenton. Sausage rises!
Do not fulfill our alliance. I fear it will be a humiliation.
Okay.
Here, this little fish has come to us.
There are a few things that
To oppose the dishonest.
I'm less interested in this game than ship combat.
Scary pirates.
Five out of 23. Out of 32, rather.
I don't give these out to anyone. Not quite.
Trade rights. Okay. So you'll pay me.
This is a right old coop for you.
Yes, quite the coup indeed. Dumbass. Okay. So we are nearly at 100% sausage satisfaction. And that's the kind of results you can't buy. You got to put in the work for that. Good old-fashioned grease. Elbow grease, baby. Oh.
These daguerreotypes haven't really come out.
Yeah, I don't need to be actually upgrading a bunch of my farmers now. I need to upgrade my flipping workers into artisans.
Workforce short.
Oh. Sausage satisfaction. Mini M&Ms, I'm going to be honest with you. Kind of forgot that there was literally anyone listening to me right now. Okay. Okay, so this ship is chartered. It's just flying under my colors. That also means, okay, yeah, we just got our big sausage import here, which is good. Supply improving. Good.
Flagship ready for orders.
Legitimately forgot that I have my flagship running trade missions right now. Just fine. Especially because we're not really, like, running a huge number of trade routes other than within our own territory. So, like, I don't imagine Anne Harlow is going to be causing us too much trouble. One hopes. One hopes und prays.
Scooped us out of the gutter, you did.
Yeah. Glad to have done so. Of course, because of the abstraction, it's a little unclear to me as to... There we go! Okay, now that all of their needs have been met, now their population will hit 20 each. Which means that now we can start upgrading these suckers. And we don't have to worry about, there's no worrying about labor shortages because we have in excess of 400 overhead of workers. So we really can afford to to just kind of upgrade pretty devil-may-care at this point. Now, here's the thing. Are we suddenly going to start running low on our canned food and our sewing machines? Maybe. These are problems to tackle later. Okay? What we do need now is to pave our roads. Good God. Good gracious. Now, from here... God, we've got a lot of artisans here, don't we? Oh! Oh, we can produce rum domestically. We would need to import the sugar. Wait, do these people... Did the artisans have, like, a rum... They sure do. Well, that's another thing that we would need to import from the New World colonies. But more pressingly, let's throw down a university. Oh yeah, that gets its grubby little mitts everywhere. Perfect. Next to the hospitals. Okay. I'll feel quite good about that. Has a telescope like every good university needs. I don't know. It's the red brick and the big telescope thing that like leaves me thinking very reminiscent about the big some kind of university building off on Guilford College Road of all places in Greensboro. Anywho. Would drive right past the place on my way to work once upon a time.
Stand back, I would. Looks like the tubes need a flush.
Anyway. Caught momentarily in a reminiscence. It's a minor issue. What's the minor issue? Not enough beef? That's a very minor issue, as it turns out. Still?
Pull up your braces and thrust into the unknown.
Sir, up until this point, I literally forgot that you existed. A destruction quest.
Now, you oughtn't waste...
Dude, you're wasting my time. Get out of my face, bro. Alrighty then. Can we upgrade this? We sure can't. Should be nearly there, though. Processing time is 1 minute. Well, labor issue has been solved. What else have we got? Oh, no. Goodness.
No harm in a bit of fun, a bit of filth. Keeps the oil lit when work's waned your wick.
Okay. I'm fairly certain he was referring to prostitution, which, you know. Pop off, King. Do, you know. Whatever, man. Many visitors are cutting their short stay in Fophaven. It's because we stopped having our festival and our attractiveness rating went went down. Ooh. But you know what'll save it? Un museo. It's perfect. Flawless. Without flaw.
It's going to be a long voyage.
That's got to count for something, hey? Or do we need to... Okay, let's see here. Artifacts from the past can be exposed here to attract curious travelers. Cost 100. Construction cost 10,000. Oh.
The people celebrate your leadership.
There's a festival in El Fapez. That seems unlikely. But if you say so, bro. Whew. So we need artifacts. And for to build artifacts, we need things.
Awaiting new horizons.
Need many things. Alright, let's...
Schooner reporting.
What kind of boats do we have? It's our flagship.
New orders.
Ship of the line. The frigate. Do we have a free frigate? We sure do. The Merlin. Alright. Let's do a zoological expedition. Let's not do a zoological expedition. Let's do that next time that we play, which could be... Well, it won't be tomorrow, probably Friday. But for right now, I've gone like 10 minutes over schedule at this point. So... that's going to do it for me, folks. To anyone who's watching and is not subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. What do these people want?
My own satisfaction, I fear I become entitled. Even with aid, I fear it shall not be enough.
Hold on. Is this an artifact?
May I still dream?
Oh, here we go. Is that an artifact? Can we... Can we do that?
Easy to dismiss these things as trivial, but history shows us otherwise.
Okay. Oh! Ah! Oh. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. And of course we can't build it non-adjacently, which will become an interesting problem to solve later.
Just like old times.
Hold on. Well, that's very interesting. So, hate that it's not positioned properly. Instead, do a little path here. There we go. Get everything nice and connected there. Okay. Interesting. And so anything that we put in the museum needs to be extended out to an exhibit? Is this what you're telling me? Because that's gonna throw a damper on some of my construction ambitions here. But these are all things to be solved at a later date. Folks, thank you all very much for watching. I am Ned Finn, and until next time, goodbye forever.